Just a reminder from your friendly neighborhood metalhead, if you like what you see, don't forget to click like and subscribe to the Heavy Underground.
Perpetually in motion, the mighty Melvins machine rolls forward as 2019 nears an end. A string of releases have entered the world in the past 2 years, including the Stephen McDonald EP and their double album A Walk with Love and Death, both in 2017, 2018's full-length album Pincus Abortion Technician, featuring both current bassist Stephen McDonald and Butthole Surfers legend Jeff Pincus on dual bass, their Sabbath EP, also from 2018, and a recent series of split collaborations with a diverse list of bands including Sweden's Shit Kid, current tour mates Redd Kross, and finally hardcore punk's legendary weirdos Flipper, just to name a few. Constantly writing, recording, and touring, the Melvins, joined by long-standing Los Angeles rockers Redd Kross and master sound manipulator Toshi Kasai, make a break for it and bring their Escape from LA tour to the Rex Theater in Pittsburgh's South Side Drinking District on October 5th, 2019. Initializing the night's sonic manipulation is Toshi Kasai. A master noise technician based out of Los Angeles, Kasai has made an indelible mark on the heavy community from both sides of the recording console, whether he has lent his six-string accompaniment to the Melvins' extended family Cody Willis and Jared Warren in their band Big Business a few years back, or he's off crafting his own experimental soundscapes as a progressive noise artist, or providing production, engineering, and additional instrumentation services to a long and varied list of acts ranging from underground to decidedly well-known. Toshi Kasai has forged a multifaceted and highly lauded discography across the modern musical landscape, having undertaken the unenviable task of finding side street weekend parking in Pittsburgh's South Side Drinking District. A late arrival finds the first 10 minutes of Toshi Kasai's set being heard from just outside the venue proper. However, entry finds the master sonic manipulator holding court. Like Super Mario Bros. On Quaaludes, Brother Kasai's tonal washes pour from the stage. The slow-moving Nintendo Electronica flows forth as an old-school computer program is projected onto a white bedsheet with lines careening back and forth like a film score for a screensaver. Working his magic in the shadows just to the side, Toshi Kasai interjects his digital brilliance to the gathering crowd's overwhelming approval. Concluding his chiptune overture, Brother Toshi makes his leave to a rousing cheer, ceding the stage to long-running alt-rockers Redd Kross. Founded as the Tourists by brothers Jeff and Stephen McDonald in 1978, Hawthorne, California-born alternative punk rockers Redd Kross have cultivated a unique and memorable legacy over the course of their career, boasting a list of past members including future Circle Jerk and Bad Religion rapscallion Greg Heston, Ron Reyes and Des Cadena, both of Black Flag, and former drummer for the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Pearl Jam Jack Irons. Redd Kross's shadow looms large over a multi-decade-long stretch of American rock music. The brothers McDonald are joined in the present day by Josh Shapiro on guitar and the multi-dimensional drum warlock Dale Crover on rhythmic devices. With roots stretching back to the early days, carving a path through the LA punk and hardcore scene, through an ascendant run in the alternative rock wave of the 1990s, and a well-deserved resurgence over the past decade or so, Redd Kross bring a nuanced rock greatness to Pittsburgh as they continue this night of highly creative musical excellence. Off to a clattering start, Redd Kross begin their set with the eponymous track from the band's latest 2019 release, Beyond the Door. Beyond the Door hits with a melodic swing to kick off their set with a subdued rocker. Up next, When Do I Get to Sing My Way, a cover from the American new wave electronic band The Sparks, a cult favorite band with some significant overseas chart success across the 70s, 80s, and 90s. A reflective open gives way to a pleading cadence that reaches for recognition. A standout vocal interplay that follows the entire night between brothers Jeff and Stephen McDonald is put on display very early with this track. 1993's Lady in the Front Row from the band's breakout album Phase Shifter offers some sly 1990s alternative rock flavor and showcases Redd Kross's criminally unheralded influence on the last 3 decades of modern rock. A rough and tumble breakdown leads to a final go-round with an electric climb to the song's close. Switchblade Sister, from a 7-inch single and EP released in 1993, follows Lady's visionary volley with a mid-paced bounce bounding through the room. A quick guitar solo caterwauls in a brief fit as Switchblade Sister gives way to Brother Steven hyping the audience for Peach Kelly Pop from the band's 1987 Neurotica album. A wily open soon erupts to life as Peach Kelly Pop offers up a hefty dose of buoyant rock sensibilities. Battling vocals, propulsive drums bound by before a scorching solo brings the song to a terminal whirl. Drawing another from 2012's Researching the Blues, Uglier soon gets underway. Led by Jason Shapiro's lead guitar, Uglier's scruffy shuffle careens from the stage. Redd Kross settles into the song with a forceful pop as the band leans full bore into the tuneful track's persistent momentum. Having reached its terminus, Uglier closes as Brother Steven takes to the microphone to introduce the band's lead singer and his brother, Jeff McDonald. Remarking that the night's concert is his brother's first visit to the Steel City, the Pittsburgh crowd welcomes him with a Yinzer's aplomb before beginning the next song. 2019's What's a Boy to Do quickly follows as Redd Kross advances deeper into their effervescent set. A bright and ascendant indie rock jangle highlights What's a Boy to Do as the band draws a mostly straight line from rock and roll's nascent 1950s infancy to its alternative rock expansions over the recent decades. Stay Away from Downtown from 2012 launches with an acidic start as a surprisingly hefty open settles into a gritty melodicism. Dense sonic bombs drop through the chorus as Dale, Steven, and Jason bolster Downtown with their weighted instrumental punch. Calling out the exceptional Saturday night turnout, Steven quickly mentions the current Escape from LA tour between Redd Kross and the Melvins before launching into The Party Underground, drawn from the band's most recent album. The Party Underground offers a quirky lilt with a reserved strength pushing at the seams. Tasteful guitar fills from Brother Shapiro drop in and out before wailing to a rollicking close. Just before starting the next song, Fighting, from 2019's Beyond the Door, a few comments about Paul Stanley and Mick Jagger find their way into the between-song discourse. However, soon enough, the song Searing Open drops quickly into a bounding pace for the duration of this high-octane rocker. As tonight's blaze through Fighting reels off into eternity, a halting drum and bass interplay gets the next song, Annie's Gone, off to a measured start. From 1990's Third Eye album, Annie's Gone builds to a sorrowful, melodic cadence with a fraying guitar solo adding to the song's despondent vibe. The song's pensive reposes power to frenetic life, leading through to the song's end. Introducing the inhuman drum maestro, Brother Dale Crover, pulling double duty tonight along with Steven, plasters a quick drum solo across the venue before hurtling the band headfirst into a jubilant cover of the Beatles' It Won't Be Long. This roiling cover lines up next in the set with an excited three-way vocal interplay taking the lead as the front line ramps up with guitar and bass rolling through to the song's end. Digging into the late 80s, 1987's Neurotica, from the album of the same name, slithers to a start. Dirty undercurrents simmer under Neurotica's more reserved sections, slyly waiting for their concussive moments to rise like a melodic bludgeon. Settling into the set's final jaunt, Jimmy's Fantasy from 1993's Phase Shifter begins with a bluesy build. Slowly crafted into a careening blitzkrieg, the end of the song hurries by in a matter of fast-paced moments. Powering forward in quick succession to conclude their boisterous performance, a pair of prehistoric tracks from the band's infancy bound into the Pittsburgh night. 1982's Linda Blair sneaks through the speakers first, with Annette's Got the Hits roaring from the stage with an insidious gleam next. A coalescing discord comes together to form Linda Blair's punk rock buoyancy before the youthful punch of Annette's Got the Hits from the band's debut 1980 EP ends the show on an emphatic note. Showcasing the band's long-standing alternative rock influence, Redd Kross deliver a set full of memorable hooks and boundless energy, led by Jeff and Steven McDonald and joined by guitarist Josh Shapiro and some drummer guy named Dale Crover. Redd Kross hurtle through their set with manic joy and dynamic vigor, from the band's nuanced present to their influentially alternative middle years and all the way back to their early punk expulsions. Redd Kross roll through their set with a palpable sense of enjoyment. Regaling the standout Pittsburgh crowd with an excited rock experience, Redd Kross perfectly hyped the crowd for the Melvins with an absolutely outstanding set. A little lounge-style music fills out the between-band ambience as the impression of an intermission permeates. Not altogether inaccurate, as both Stephen McDonald and Dale Crover are pulling double duty tonight with performances with both Redd Kross and the Melvins. Before long, the Mercurial Triumvirate take to the stage. Stephen McDonald resplendent in his concert finest, Master Crover dressed for a middle-aged racquetball tournament, and the Moppet Lord himself, King Buzzo, in full freakazoid regalia. A rapturous cheer greets the Melvins three as they assume the position. A rowdy Pittsburgh crowd awaits the band as they begin chugging Sesame Street meat out at a molasses pace. As this 2014 crusher lumbers mightily through the Rex's speakers, Buzz's bellow mixing with Dale's backing croon is without a doubt one of the most underrated vocal combinations in the vast panoply of loud and heavy. Moving into song number 2, a deft flick of the wrists from Dale ushers in the kicking machine from the band's 2008 Nude with Boots album. Tearing into this latter-day Melvins classic with an energetic rush, the band settle in for a boisterous set. With a clever instrumental interplay, the most powerful trio roar into the song's final claustrophobic rush before jumping back to 1991 for the next song. A sparsely appointed build leads into Anaconda. With a brutal shuffle, this bullhead essential erupts into a gloriously noisy harangue. Classic Melvins obliterating the crowd with a fervent presence, Anaconda is met with overwhelming approval. Up next, a dirt and grit-crusted open heralds Anaconda's set-list successor. Stoner Witch's Queen erupts, drawn from the mainstream's early to mid-90s flirtation with the genius of the Melvins. Guttural eruptions and an acrid tone highlight this vociferous performance. A rapid-fire drum assault begins 1991's It's Shoved. Adding to a noticeably up-tempo set, It's Shoved hurries into the fray with a quickened pace before Oven takes the baton to advance the sonic race. Drawing from 1989's Ozma release, Oven intermittently discharges from the stage before a mid-song bruising slows things for a closing beatdown. Turning the pace down just a bit more, some slow-motion machinations permeate Billy Fish, a track from 2008's Nude with Boots. Dark, pleading vocals and a noise-addled solo from the King make their presence known as a creepy group vocal eventually rings out. A deep bass-driven ending led by Brother McDonald adds a further despondent note to Billy Fish on the way out. Paying tribute to one of the first great losses of the grunge era, a cover of Malfunction's With Yo Heart Not Yo Hands follows Billy Fish. Founded by Seattle's lost legend Andrew Wood and his brother Kevin Wood, Malfunction made an early mark on the burgeoning Seattle scene in the wake of the Melvins' revolutionary birth. Dale's drums roll With Yo Heart off to a start. A crushing heaviness, deft melodic flavor, and a signature oddball quirk stand testament to the unfinished potential of the late Andrew Wood with this reverent cover. Next, a rolling gate gets another cover underway. Charlie, a song originally by the Night's co-headliner and Stephen McDonald's own band, Redd Kross, kicks up in the Pittsburgh night. From Redd Kross's 1982 Born Innocent album, Charlie mixes in a few noise-addled squalls before pushing to a fast-paced end. After a little between-song chit-chat from Brother Crover, Civilized Worm makes its way from 2006's A Senile Animal to the Rex Theater stage. Wistful vocals carry the moment between movements of dreamlike instrumental quicksand and more forceful emanations of heaviness. A hypnotic percussive drive from Dale leads to the Civilized Worm's end. Slowly coiling into shape, Dale's percussive dexterity is on full display as an extended drum intro ripples through the room. Emerging from the rising drum work, Hooch from 1993's Houdini lurches into the fray. With some added momentum, the song heaves from the speakers with an underhanded zeal. With a quick turnaround, Hooch shifts gears as fellow Houdini track Honey Bucket breaks out from Brother Buzzo's harried riffing and Brother Crover's breakneck drums. As the dynamic duo propel Honey Bucket's frenetic pulse, Brother McDonald provides a hurricane-force swirl from his gale-force bass rig. A growing disgust from 2012's Freak Puke takes the crowd down with a swamp-laden twist. Slowly oozing from the stage, a growing disgust devolves into a fetid slow dance blues before the song's final minutes drift away on a murky masterpiece of musical sludge. Punching through with a dense elasticity, a viscous run-through of 1991's You're Blessed is slowly expunged from the speakers. Another song from the band's bullhead masterpiece, You're Blessed hits with backwater vortexes churning with hefty force. A masterful solo squall from King Buzzo rings out before a dark and cavernous breakdown shifts You're Blessed to a low rumbling close. A coy build-up for the bit grows in intensity before settling into a roiling simmer on this 1996 classic. Lurking through the night, Mr. McDonald's obtuse bass work adds a deeply harrowing atmosphere to the proceedings before the bit draws to a close. Stephen continues the dirty, low-end harassment as With Teeth begins, as the band slowly churns through the song with a laid-back, melodic flow. Buzzo proffers a well-reserved bellow to accompany the standout track from 1992's Lysol. A brief harangue draws With Teeth to a close. Readying the final onslaught of songs, the two other members of Redd Kross join the band on stage. As Kevin MacDonald and Jason Shapiro settle in, the assembled Melvins Redd Kross supergroup lay into Kiss's Do You Love Me for half a verse before stopping the song to announce that friend, artist, and merch slinger extraordinaire Brian Walsby was celebrating a birthday. A rousing round of Happy Birthday quickly follows before the extended band tears into the breakneck slam of Standing in Front of Poser, a raucous punk gem from Redd Kross's 1981 self-titled debut EP. Following up on the earlier Kiss tease, the classic track Deuce rockets from the stage next with boundless energy, delivering a massive, show-stopping finale to wind up the night in one wild and riotous Kiss rave-up. Within their 18-song set, the Melvins have the unenviable task to craft a tour setlist that both well represents their vast and varied discography, as well as satisfy the discerning music nerds in attendance. Drawing from 10 separate albums, in addition to several cover songs, the Melvins offer a career-spanning scattershot that provides a through line on this legendary band's highly influential career. From classic tracks like Ozma's Bruising Oven and Bullhead's Anaconda to the band's major label Salad Days, with a few classics from breakout album trio Houdini, Stoner Witch, and Stag, and reaching all the way back to the band's dexterous recent years with Sesame Street Meat, The Kicking Machine, and Civilized Worm, amongst others, the Melvins cover a lot of ground and never relent from the beginning to the end. Energetic bass runs from Stephen MacDonald and an unrelenting rhythmic genius from the drums of Dale Crover push the songs forward with indomitable vitality as King Buzzo's maniacal vocal bellow and tectonic guitar heft deliver a deep and powerful immensity to the band's potent delivery. A handful of cover songs by lost contemporaries malfunction with Yo Heart and Not Yo Hands, essential influences Kiss's Deuce, as well as a couple of Redd Kross gems to put through the Melvins' ringer arise during a diverse and rollicking set. Delivering a decidedly up-tempo performance, the Melvins roll through their energetic show as only this unique and iconic band can.